Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Leo. That's Leo's sun, moon, or rising for the month of October 2024. At the beginning of the year, I would do these Taroscopes with a little bit of astrology at the beginning with charts, and then the tarot part of the scope. And while many people did enjoy it, I wasn't able to keep it up because it just took a lot of time and I was getting very busy, which I'm very grateful for. But we are in a pivotal time in the year. October promises to be intense. And so I thought this would be a good month to bring back the charts. So we'll look at the charts first, and then we will get to the Taroscope. If you're not interested in the astrology, it is time-stamped, and you can go right to the card reading. So it's up to you with that. So let's jump in to the charts. Excuse me. Allergy season is upon us, as it were. Excuse me. Okay, let's do the slideshow. Sorry about the delay. My computer's a little slow today. I've been working at like a workhorse though, so I can't blame it, honestly. Okay, so Leo, the sign of the sun. And of course, we start the month with an eclipse of the sun. We have a partial solar eclipse in the sign of Libra. Libra isn't the most powerful position for the sun. The sun is generally very egoic energy, and Libra is very much about the other. So it is considered weak in Libra. But, you know, who's to say? But the eclipse the sun does get eclipsed by the moon, which brings more emotions up. Of course, we had the other part of this eclipse season occur in September with that full moon in Pisces. Very, very emotional moon, a very emotional time. A lot of things came up and were happening at that time, not all of which were pleasant. So it has been a struggle the last few eclipses, last year's eclipse, this eclipse in the spring, and now this set of eclipses in the fall, almost fall and fall of this year have been very challenging. And this one may also be challenging as well. It is a south node eclipse, so it does require some letting go. It's occurring in your third house, Leo. And so your third house is the house of mind. It's also the house of siblings. And so if you have any issues with your siblings, they may come up at this time. It is a good time to let go of those issues and move into the future. We have the North Node in Aries in the ninth house, which deals with our ability to be our authentic self based on those things that we believe. Our philosophy of life, our perspective is all very, very important at this time. We have the full moon in that house because the full moon's at 24 degrees of Aries. It is not an eclipse. It is not close enough to the nodes for it to be an eclipse, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be intense. All full moons are intense. This particular full moon is conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord. And so you may be feeling that discord. And of course, the ninth house is the house of justice. It's the house of the Supreme Court. It's the house of law, our philosophies, religion, all those things are really sort of peak trends or themes that we're dealing with at this time. Now, the sun being your ruler, of course, starts in the third house. When it's in Libra, once it moves into Scorpio, it moves into that fourth house, the fourth house being the house of the family, the clan, and the soul. It's an introspective house, so as the sun, sort of like the sun at the midnight position. And so it's very sort of internal. And of course, you tend to be that way anyway, because the cusp of your fourth house is in Scorpio. Nothing more internal than Scorpio, quite honestly. We also have Mercury there. Mercury moves from the 3rd to the 4th, from Libra to Scorpio. And Venus starts the month in Scorpio and then shifts into Sagittarius. So it's in the 4th, it's in the 5th. When it goes into Sagittarius in the 5th, perhaps you'll have a little bit more fun than when it was in the 4th house. Although Venus in Scorpio in the 4th house is not necessarily not fun. It's just you're not outwardly oriented. It's the fun would be like the fun at home, maybe sitting in front of the fire kind of fun. We have 2 planets that change direction this month. The first one is Jupiter. That happens on the 9th. It goes retrograde at 22 degrees of Gemini. It has been moving through Gemini rather quickly since the end of May, and now it is sort of stopping in its tracks, although it doesn't actually stop. It's just how it seems from our perspective on planet Earth. Still, it is a time of introspection. It is in your house of goals, and so you may rethink a couple of goals. It's also in your house of friends. And if there have been friends you haven't reached out to, that you've been wanting to reach out to, this retrograde motion would be a good time, especially if they're old friends and, people from your past. This is a good time to reconnect with them. We also have Pluto changing direction. Remember, Pluto, here it is in your 6th house of health. Pluto was in Aquarius, and then it retrograded back into Capricorn, that last degree of Capricorn, where it's spending all its time before it leaves Capricorn and doesn't return for another 220 something years. We won't have to worry about that. And Pluto moves into that house of relationship once it goes into Aquarius. But it's as if Pluto has one more thing to say about your service, your world service, your health, your obligations, perhaps, your sense of duty. All of that comes up with that 6th house. And Pluto's been there for a long time, so this could just be a fond farewell to the intensity, how Pluto has transformed the way you serve, the way you serve. We have, of course, Neptune and Saturn still in Pisces in that 8th house. Make sure your taxes are all set up with that. Mars, the planet of action, is actually in Cancer and in your 12th house. This can be very active for dreams, but it can also be a lot of frustration. Mars in Cancer tends to be more frustrated. Mars likes to go direct. There's no such thing as direct with Cancer. Cancers can only move backwards or sideways. It's just the nature of the crab. And so it can, in itself, it's a little bit frustrating being in Cancer, but being in the 12th house, you may not know why you're being aggravated. It's sort of a hidden house. Just don't do anything to hurt yourself. And I don't mean like actively hurt yourself, which of course don't do that, but it can be, not dealing with your stress, not dealing with your anger, and you stub your toe or you hit your knee on the bedpost. Right? There's all kinds of things that can happen. So be aware of your feelings and don't allow them to take over. Don't come from an unconscious place when it comes to your feelings, because it could be somewhat dangerous to your toes and other parts of your body that have a tendency to smack into things. All right, so that's what I want to say about the astrology for you, Leo. Next will be the Taroscope. Have yourself a wonderful month. Please be careful. It's a very deeply feeling month. We have Venus and Mercury and the Sun all in Scorpio, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Mars in Cancer. That is a triple emotional threat. And it's all for you, Leo, in your water houses. So the feelings are really, really deep. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again next month. Namaste. Hello, Leos. Now it's time to look at the tarot for the Taroscope. And today we're going to be using the, are we? Yes, the Modern Spellcasters Deck. And this is one of those little pouches that Ona made me. That's giblets. If you know Ona, you know giblets. All right. And look, got a little piggy tail. It's my favorite. All right. So this is for Leo, sign of the sun. Royalty, Leo, ruled by the sun. Of course, the sun, as we start the month, is in Libra, and that's its detriment. So not particularly powerful in Libra. And then in Scorpio, I think Sun in Scorpio is powerful. I think they're all powerful. They're just different. They're just different. This is the month of relationship because both Libra and Scorpio are relationship archetypes. Libra, we think about relating. We sort of put the rules down for relating. We make it legal in some cases. And then, of course, Scorpio is where the rubber meets the road, where we have to share our feelings and our money and our sense of security. Not the easiest thing in the world for anyone. All right. Oops. Okay. We start with the Eight of Cups. This is about stepping away from something that you've put a lot of effort into. It's as if, especially emotional, you've invested a lot of emotional energy into it, but you find it lacking. You find that it's not fulfilling you in the way that you imagined. So this is something that you may walk away from. The challenge to that is the amount of disruption it will cause. The amount of disruption it will cause. It may actually make you seem a fool to some people. I can't believe you just stopped. I mean, all the money, all the effort, all the whatever, and you just were like, "See you later, alligator." Or this could mean that you had an awakening to the fact that this is no longer really what floats your boat. Underneath it all, we have the Ace of Swords, action, justice, truth. There's a truth that has been revealed that causes you to step away, even though it's disruptive. In the past, we have the Knight of Cups. This is the knight who offers love, jumping out of the water. I don't know if it's the best thing to be riding a fish when you're in a metal can, but this guy is. Hello, like a good idea. This could be offerings of love. Offerings of love. Something that previously made you feel ebullient is now suddenly not. Well, not from this card. This was the past. It was good in the past, but in the present, not so much. In the sky, the Nine of Cups, wishing. I guess we could say be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. Actually, this really says that. It says your wish is our command. Your wish is our command. Now you can take that for whatever it means to you. We have the Six of Cups in the immediate future. This is a sense of nostalgia, a remembrance. It also symbolizes a time of innocence and joy when you could just play. And because it's the immediate future, perhaps that's what it's asking you to do. Maybe it's time for you to play. You know, this card seems awful serious. Work, there's an altar, you got the cups, you're piling them up. And then you're like, you know what? I want to simplify my life. How it's seen from the outside. This is the Knight of Wands. That maybe you're running away. The Knight of Wands is about movement. So this could be a sense people see you as running away from something. But really, I think what you're doing is you're running towards something. You're running towards the other thing. You're running towards what makes you feel more alive, less rote, less less like, oh, I gotta do that again. That feeling. The Eight of Cups is an eight. Eight is a heavy burden, really. Domestic situation, the Nine of Pentacles. This is about well, now it's generally about financial security. But this woman doesn't look that happy. She feels kind of isolated. So you may be feeling somewhat isolated at home. You have security, you have a garden, you have all the things that can take care of your physical needs, but perhaps your emotional or your spiritual needs are lacking at this time. Hopes and fears, the Hanged Man. That's the Hanged Man as a fear can be a fear of impotence, a fear of not having any control over your destiny. And sometimes that can be a hope, right? Because when you put it in fate's hands, you're unburdening yourself, right? And sometimes that's a good idea and sometimes it's not. It depends on the situation. Oftentimes in the hopes and fears position, it's sort of like what you're pondering, but it's not like if it was in the immediate environment or if it was in the immediate future, or even if it was at the root of the reading, it would be like you are hung up. But this is hopes and fears, so that's not really what that's about. We have the Four of Cups as the outcome card. This is divine discontent. There is a cup behind you. There is something you're not seeing here, but you have to be willing to look around it. This is really sort of, I always see this as like the disaffected wealthy. You know, they're like, oh, do I go to Nice or do I go to Venice? I'm so bored. Oh, we're going to have another gala, like that kind of energy. Not that I have any kind of experience with that, but sometimes money doesn't cure all ills, certainly for sure, but it does make life a lot easier if you know what it's like not to have it, right? We have the Chariot as the outcome. So this is you're kind of in you're kind of in the doldrums here, but you will be moving on. Things are going to happen by the end of the month. Things are going to happen very, very quickly, and you're going to be on your way, whatever that means. It could also mean that you're traveling and quickly away. So maybe you are like jumping on a plane and going somewhere, jumping on a train and just saying, I'm leaving this behind. I'm going to go do what I need to do. Let's see what's underneath it. We have the Page of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the World. Something coming to an end. So this is a natural ending for you. And it's like there's only one path to take. And the news is in that there's only one path to take, and this is the end. So for those of you who are feeling bad about leaving things behind like that, this is exactly what the time is asking you to do. So don't feel bad about that. If you're so inclined to feel bad about stuff like that. Now, I do want to say this, and I wanted to hold this to the end. This is the last of the tarot part of the tarot scopes that I've done for October. And in many of the tarot scopes for October, there's been this theme of something coming to an end and celebration. And then in this one, it seems like this is the person who's making a decision that something is coming to the end. I want to point out that Donald Trump has a Leo rising, and J.D. Vance has a Leo rising, and is he a Leo? And he's a Leo. So I'm just going to put that out there. I haven't said it. Well, whenever I saw it, I said it in the readings, but this is not a political reading, but I just want to point that out, that in case you're interested in such things, I think he's leaving. Whether it's he leaves because he gets in a plane and flies away, or however he wants to leave, I feel like he's going out in October. Perhaps that's the October surprise. But it's a natural ending. Even if he doesn't go out, it's an ending for him. Now, if this is your reading and you're like, it's an ending for me, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. There is an ending, but it's not dire like his is, okay? It's not dire. And then at the root is justice. And so if you don't have anything to worry about, then I wouldn't worry. Know what I'm saying? All right, let's pick Mystic Sisters Oracle. Mystic Sisters. And I'll also pick a Tree of Life. Oops, things are flying around, flying around. Now I want to point out that I am also a Leo rising. So, all right, Mystic Sisters. What do you want Leo to know? Come on. Persephone. Queen of the underworld. She is standing on skulls. You know? And I believe that's a pomegranate in her hand. Is it? Yep. Pomegranates are really good for you. That might be something too. Pomegranates are full of antioxidants. If you take a little glass of pomegranate juice every day, it's very healthy for you. And I'm a doctor, so I can say that to you. And I've never heard of anybody allergic to pomegranates, so just saying. All right, now I'm not saying that's not a possibility, but pomegranate is and they make it with pomegranate. It's not sweet. So, but they also make it with blueberry. And blueberry also has high in antioxidants. So that's like a double boost. Well, and it's probably the same amount of antioxidants. It's got that blueberry flavor, so it's a little bit sweeter. Okay, Persephone, sorry. I'm gonna go have some pomegranate juice once I finish this. All right. If I can focus on her. This is a beautiful card. All these artists from Emily Balavet, and this is her deck, so I think she does the information here as well. Resilience, adjustments, and faith. Persephone is the queen of the underworld, the guardian of the dead, and the daughter of the harvest goddess Demeter. One day when young Persephone was picking flowers, Hades, the lord of the underworld, saw her and became overwhelmed with desire. He abducted her and became, oh no, I said that. He abducted Persephone and brought her back to the underworld. He then offered her a pomegranate. Having eaten the fruit of the dead, she became bound to him forever. She would ever rule over the underworld for 3 winter months of the year and will return in the spring to be with Demeter. Persephone symbolizes the unconscious and hidden realities that is full of riches and promise. She reminds us of our resilience in the face of a challenge. Her message is to trust that you have the resources within you to make the most of any situation if you allow yourself to access them. I also want to point out that when Persephone was walking through the fields and Hades took a shine to her, she was a maiden. She was she was a youth. She was um, um, that sort of the ripeness that comes with youth. And then she went down to the underworld and she came back a queen. And so the energy of Persephone is one of overcoming the shadows, overcoming the deeper stuff, the stuff that's sort of down in the bowels of our soul and bringing up the light and the power that that holds, facing the shadow. All right, now let me do the Tree of Life next. Careful what you wish for. Let's do this. Tree of Life, Tree of Life. What do you want to say to our Leos out there? The moon, evolution, simplicity, and the animal kingdom. Moon. We are actually in a moon month. 10 is the month, and 8 is the universal year. That's an 18-9. That is the moon. And the moon card is connected to your sleep patterns, and it's located right here between Nesak, the feminine, and Malkuth, the kingdom. Netzach is victory. Um, and so pay attention to your dreams with this one. All right, let me you read what the book says. Might say some of that. Okay. All right. The path that runs between Malkuth to Netzach is Pisces in astrology. All things watery are found here. The subconscious mind, emotional responses, intuition, and family. Piscean energy in your own chart will offer more insights. As the goddess of the moon rises from her bath, she's moving through the subconscious waters into awareness of her surroundings. The animals with her symbolize evolution as well as sensuality and protection. We all evolve, at least we'd like to think so, and we do in many ways, emotionally, physically, and as a species. It's how we survive. And are you surviving or thriving? Are you heading in the direction you want to be heading in? Or if not, does your intuitive mind tell you you need to evolve? Well, that's interesting, right? This is about leaving something behind. The moon's governorship over family matters could suggest a family situation needs your attention now. Is it a question of offering support or asking for it? Water and the moon are both instruments that unlock your ability to see through the veil. So your awareness of the astral world, scrying techniques, and intuitive knowing may be increased and could be worth further exploration at this time. That's also through dreams, by the way. As you ask yourself what subconscious patterning is stopping you from receiving the things you need and desire, what do you want? What do you want? Um, it is if it's a huge bath and a wolf, then double joy. You are able to see the future. Um, you are able to see the future the future you. For now, focus on moving toward whatever you feel is what you're here to do, without losing sight of the small everyday tasks and blessings that will get you there. So it kind of vibes with this card, right? This is actually a Pisces card. And this card as well. This is actually a Pisces card as well. And then this card is a Neptune card. So everything is very Piscean in this reading. Very Piscean. Our connection to source, our connection to all that is. Oh. All right, well, hopefully this is helpful for you, Leo. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to join me for Mystic Sisters, it's a live that Ona from Ona's Tarot and I do every Saturday from, it starts at 7 Eastern or 6 Central or 5 Mountain or 4 Pacific, I guess. And I'm sorry, those people in Hawaii. I haven't that one had that one in my back of my mind yet, but I'll get there. I'll get to Hawaii too. Oh, I would love that. I've never been. That'd be awesome. See how the other side lives, kind of. Okay. Anyway, another story for another day. So if you want to join us for that and you want to comment, because it's alive and you can chat with us, you do have to subscribe, but subscriptions are free, so it's not a big deal. Just press the subscribe button on my channel, press the subscribe button on Ona's channel, and whatever week we're doing it, you'll see. Now I can't do math in my head, so I'm trying to. So I think the last Saturday of the month will be on my channel, and Saturday, God, Saturday. Oh my God, I forget it. I can't do that. I'm trying, but I can't. I can't do it. What else? What else? What else? Join me in the mornings to walk through the garden and see what's happening in the stars, and also to see what's happening in the gardens. We've had some amazing bugs lately, just amazing, amazing interactions with bugs. I saw a dragonfly yesterday. I swear to God, it was this big. I was trying to get him to land on my finger, but he was too interested in eating bugs, so I didn't bother him. But I was trying. I was like, "Come on, get on here." He didn't. I was gonna take a picture. All right, so have yourself a great month. Be careful, okay? Don't feel bad if you're stepping away from something you've put a lot of effort into. If it doesn't fulfill your soul, then you shouldn't be doing it. All right? All right, guys, take care. Much love. I'll see you again next month. Namaste.